welcome to part 2 of this series of me playing hardcore for the first time. Now, we need to do some recaps, because I've just spent the past 4 or 5 hours trying to upgrade our equipment and farming normal. The terror zones have not been great since I have done this, and I was just about to give up, and the last terror zone hit, and it was Terrorized Andy. And that 1 hour proved to be more profitable than the 4 hours prior. So let's have a quick recap of what dropped. Now, those are obviously not the only items that dropped in this 1 hour. In fact, there were so many good drops, I had to create a second character just to clean up the stash. I had that much drops. So, these are some of the good ones, okay? So, as you would have seen, there was a Twitch throw. I didn't identify it in the video, but we got a Twitch throw, which means a couple of things. It's giving us some of the faster hit recovery that we were losing when we take off the stealth, but more importantly, it's giving us 10 to strength and 10 to dex. Similarly, we found a pair of Sanders. These ones just popped out of the chest. And these ones here, we are giving up some resistances for these, but they are giving us strength, dex, and 40% faster run walk. And basically, I need all the stats I could get because I needed to equip an Ancient's Pledge. And the Ancient's Pledge is making up the resistances that I am losing from the armor and the boots. I found this helmet along the way, which is 1 to Druid skills, 1 to Fisher, 30 lightning res, poison length reduced. It's just really, really solid. I also found a Dark Clan Crusher, which gives +2 to Druid skills, so I don't need to be wearing the staff anymore with the +3 to fire, because +2 to all is going to help my summons and everything like that as well, and it also allows me to be wearing a shield, so it's a little bit more safe. But because we have found the Twitch throw and we have found the Sanders and I have some charms down here with strength, we have 43 strength, which just happens to be the exact number of strength that I need to wear a crystal sword. I was looking at trying to find an ethereal crystal sword. I didn't have one that dropped, but with this combination here, we can wear a straight normal crystal sword, which means I can throw that to Larzak, and I can get rid of the Dark Clan Crusher, and we can make a Spirit, which is also not going to just help the skills, which I'm also got here, but it's going to give me mana. So mana is a little bit of a problem, so this is also going to help that problem as well. So it's just a really great thing that I am able to wear a Spirit Sword now.
Afternoon.
Alright, so now we have a 4-socket Crystal Sword as our base for our Spirit, so we need a Tal, Ethol. Please tell me I have an Ort. Oh, yep. And 27 on the FCR, that's not great. 99 on the mana is okay. Overall, I don't really care. It is going to be much better than the Dark Clan Crusher. That brings our mana now to 251, so that is awesome. And finally, the last thing that the Spirit is doing is it's actually giving me 22 to Vitality, which is going to pump up our life as well. So, really, really solid for us. You may have noticed that Ellie has the edge bow now as well. So Ellie is rocking this edge bow over here, which is also going to help our summons. Edge bow is good for her because it also gives 7% life stolen per hit, so it helps her survivability. And I also made this armor for Ellie from a field plate that dropped, and it's just like a super budget smoke, basically. It's 30 all res, 50 poison length reduced, faster hit recovery, a little bit of life. Pretty solid for her. So with all of that being said, I think it's time for us to jump over to Nightmare, and we're going to see how our resistances are tracking over in Nightmare. We're still on players 5, so I'm going to put that back down to players 1. And our resistances in Nightmare, 75, 75, 61, 61. So that is amazing. And that is still wearing the 30 Nagel. So I was wondering whether I would have to put... No, there's a cold res one right here. So I'll put that on. Wonder strength. Alright, so what's that bring us to? That's 68. So we're nearly capped on that now. So I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to leave the Nagel on because it also has the magic damage reduced by 3. So that is going to help on top of the fact that we have the 30% magic find. And it's just cool to be wearing a 30 Nagel. Alright, that's about it. So let's get moving and I'll check in with you guys in a bit.
Yes, ruins. The fate of all cities. Deckard Cain, leave this place.
Right, so we have made our way down to level 5 of the tower, and we're about to kill Countess for the first time. I have a really good waypoint position again, which does mean I could run this a couple of times if there was some runes I would be chasing. Potentially grab a shale rune to make a rhyme. But I haven't actually made up my mind whether I will do that or not. So maybe I'll do it like 2 or 3 times just to see whether I can grab a shale. And if we don't, then we move on. Or maybe we just get it now and we move on straight away. So that means we have the runes that we need to make a rhyme, which means we get Cannot Be Frozen, which is amazing. I'm not going to put it on now, but I will save that for later. I've just found Catacombs level 3, but I'm going to backtrack and find the waypoint, because at the end of Nightmare, Terrorize Nightmare Andy is one of the best leveling up places in the entire game for finding some cool gear. So if I make it through Nightmare, it would be handy to have that waypoint. And it kind of looks like it's in a great position as well. Alright, so after running completely around the entire map, we have finally found the entrance to level 4. So in reality, it's actually a pretty good map for me to run over and over if I wanted to run some Andy later on. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly get rid of this curse and pump some antidote potions, and then we'll kill Andy. Super easy. Didn't drop as much. Check this charm quickly. Good at strength. Can always do with strength charms. Alright, Act 2, let's go. Alright, so horrible map to get here, but we got it done. So, time to move on. Right, so I just got the waypoint for Fire Oasis, and literally just on the other side of this wall is Beetle Burst. So I'm thinking about doing some... I'll try players 5 first, but we may be able to pump that up to players 8, and we'll just try and get a couple of levels by killing Beetle Burst. So we're currently level 45 at the moment. I did drop a waypoint next to Maggot Lair, so I will quickly run Maggot Lair first, and then maybe we'll do some Beetle Burst runs. Experience is pretty good. I think we can pump this up to players 8, so we might exit and go players 8. It's nice that we pass a few packs along the way before we get down there, and the players 8 experience is awesome. So yeah, I think this is the play. Good map for this. So Right, that was nearly a whole level just in that one run. So this is going to be the play. I'm going to do this a few times. All right, so I think I'm finally done running Beetle Burst, and I could probably push this for another level or two because I'm still getting about 20%, 30% of a bar level experience every time I do it. But I've got myself up to 53, which is 8 levels higher than I was. I did run all of that on Players 8, and that was probably the best run of experience I think I've ever had in a challenge run. I had 4 boss groups almost guaranteed every single run right next to the waypoint, which is just straight up insanity. And I didn't even really run that for very long to get that many levels. I think I probably ran that for about somewhere between half an hour to 40 minutes, maybe something like that. I didn't really find too many items. I found a hawk mail and a couple of charms, but apart from that, we didn't really have too many drops, but the experience was well worth it. We'll push that back down to Players 1 now, and we're just going to jump all the way through, kill Duriel, kill Mephisto, kill Diablo, run through to Act 5, and then hit some Terror Zones. Because at level 53, I'm basically not going to get a whole lot of experience on Players 1 in the next few acts. Alright, let's get moving. Just 4th Blade, which kind of sucks. Right, summon it down. Have a geeze at this location for Duriel. Right, we got to go in there, kill Duriel. I just went to town and have stocked up on our potions, so we've got our cold res sitting at 85%. I'm hoping that our summons and Merc can take the hits and we can just sort of stand back and fisher. So fingers crossed here. Alright, so far so good. Duriel is 3/4 dead, and so far all our summons are still there. Alright, the bear has finally dropped. No issues. Super easy. What you got for us, Ormus? And it sucks. But these 230 jabs with 7% mana stolen per hit would be pretty cool if I was on Amazon. We just do a grand total of 276 life. Act 3 Nightmare. Right, we've made it up to Trav, so we are going to try and take down Council. Council can obviously be really annoying with the Hydras and potentially some fire immunes as well, so... Looks like we're doing all right. Cool. Got that flail. That's an impaler. Ethereal impaler. Yeah. Oh, and an Elders. The 30 Nagel coming in hot. All right, we're working our way through Durance. And so far, we've had great luck with enemy mobs. We don't have dolls on either level. We just have the Maulers, we have the Cadavers, and we have the Dark Lords. So I was really worried about Durance. It was probably the first area of the game that I have been worried about because of getting dolls and just basically getting randomly one-tapped. So it's nice that that we don't have to worry about that. Right, I don't actually know whether I should moat trick him or just rely on our summons. Might see how the summons go. All right. Mephisto down.
Mephisto's hatred.
We get up here.
Void.
Ethereal. Soulflay. And this will be the dollars. So I found Izzy kind of surrounded by a bunch of fire immune Doom Knights, which is a little bit annoying. Cool, Izzy down. Go grab our skill points. This looks a bit spicy. Whoa. Soul Feast. Orders de Flame. Orders Val Flame. So we are up to Nightmare Forge. And obviously Nightmare Forge, you're looking for things like a Lem for a treachery or an rune. So they would probably be the best things that we could find. Okay. What you got for us, Forge? Harun! Harun probably does nothing for us. But that's alright. We're doing okay without. Alright, I'm getting impatient again, so... Paladins. Woo! Okay. Fully overestimated how strong we were there. Just decimated everything. Right. You. Another one. Got some more. No problem here. What problem? Perfectly safe. Ooh. Okay, Decease. It's alright, don't worry. I'm playing a bit smarter. No more stupid tellies to save 5 minutes of gameplay. So we'll be somewhat smart about it. I'll hang back over here. And they can tank the damage. Ah, he's immune to fire. That's Unfortunate. But it didn't help him. Alright, let's try and kill the big rig. Gonna belly stomp him with everything. Hey, I mean, never in doubt. Never in doubt at all. Have a look at these antlers. And also this ring. 2 to shapeshifting. That's interesting, but there's literally nothing else on there. And that sucks. We're not going to get anywhere near 60 strength. Sell that. Well, the drops weren't very good. And we had a close call telling in, just from pure impatience. But Diablo was pretty easy. So I've made my way up to Eldritch and Shank, and I've realized probably way too late into this video that it would be cool if my life was actually showing here above the orb. So I've added that in, so we get that for Act 5 in Hell, but prior to that, you don't get it. We're just gonna jump on here, cast a Fisher. Shanky boys down, there's a soul rune there, we'll grab that. So now that I'm up to Eldritch and Shank, I'm gonna try and put this on players 8 and just see how much experience I'm getting. I'm already at pretty high level, but maybe I could push this to level 60 or something by doing some Eldritch and Shank runs. I don't really know what the experience is going to be like, but we'll give it a go. Alright, so they were a little bit tanky, and we got about a 20% experience. So maybe I'll just do this until level 58. Maybe I'll just get one more level, because that's nowhere near as great as I thought that would be. So I thought we would at least get like a 30 experience, but not awesome. So let's just get one level from that, and then we'll move on. Okay, so I've run that till I'm 59 and a half, and I've basically run out of steam now, so I'm just going to run forward and head straight for Anya. I'm going to pop that back down to players 1 now. So that caps all of our res now. Right, so we've made it to Ancients. I did also just get a level. I didn't really kill a whole lot on the way. It was basically just a whole lot of running and tellying. But that has brought us to level 60 now, so we're going to try our luck here at the Ancients, and hopefully the summons can draw the aggro once again. And we have old mate who is immune to fire. It's not a great spawn. I'm gonna just try that again. Yeah, okay. This seems a little better. Alright, so we got Talik down. Matty boy here is nearly gone. And now it's just the stone skin immune to physical. So we're gonna just surround him and sit a Fisher under him. A little slow, but pretty straightforward. Oh, what is this place? Come on. Oh my god. So I had a horrible time getting here because we had a whole bunch of fire immunes and then we also had souls. But we made it, and first wave down. Two down, three to go. Three down, two to go. Old Ventar here is immune to fire, but luckily our summons and Ellie can just chop him down. No stopping now. Let's get Bale. The thing that's going to make this a little bit painful is his teleport. But hopefully this slow from Ellie's freeze kind of limits it a little bit. He's actually dying pretty quick, which is surprising to me. I thought he would be a lot harder than this. But the Fisher and summons, we got him. Hey. I got to admit that was easier than I thought it would be. Pretty bad as drops, but doesn't matter. We will probably pick something up when we do some Terror Zones. The Terror Zone right now is actually the pit, but I am kind of over it right now. So I'm going to step away. But we finished Nightmare at 62 and almost a half exactly there. Our skills are looking like this. We've got a maxed out Fisher. I'll put a couple into Volcano just to try and boost that up to get us through because the damage was teetering off there. I have 8 into Cyclone armor. I have nothing in shapeshifting. I have a 4 into Grizzly. I have an 8 into the Direwolf because that's giving a 10% damage buff to the Grizzly. I have a maxed out Oak Sage as well. So that's kind of where our stats are going at the moment, where our skills are going, I should say. We have maxed out Res in Nightmare, but I have no idea how that's going to transition into Hell when we get over there. So that just about sums up Nightmare. Thanks for sticking with me through that, and hope you'll join me through the Hell playthrough. Catch you later, bros.